is that your answer for that?
Yeah. You can tell me when.
Okay.
When I should start.
You ready?
Yeah,
Okay.
you can compass.
Okay, this is Pitman Brown. Pitman, what work have you been doing in order to support your community? And how do you think your work has improved the lives of local people?
Well, I would just like to pick a leaf from out of the pages of my experience. If I'm going back a little over 40 years, in the times of Nottingham West Indian Students Association, at that time, they elected me president to serve for 2 years. But just from the 1960s through to the 1980s, when the Chroma black writers, the African Caribbean, it's called CHROMA, Chronicle of Minority Arts, and I was involved in writing and publishing for the very first time. Through to present day, well, I think I've now liaised with a number of writers and performer poets, the black drops of this world, and there is a residency going on at the Nottingham Playhouse. I am active as a performer poet, and on the community issue to do with music, I am a pianist, a composer, and arranger. My piano playing on a Sabbath, Saturday, for the Seventh-day Adventist, but on a Sunday, I am the church organist for the Chasewood Baptist Church, and I'm also involved in the Pentecostal movements. You would say gospel music, helping across the city. Well, this constitutes here and now, you would say, a bird's eye view of my rapport with the community.
Thank you. What were the main reasons for you being active in your community?
I think one of the main key reasons is to do with the fact that there was a really sad lack of representation. I'm just saying to you, for instance, I came to this country as a 17-year-old, as an expatriate from Jamaica. And since I am now an author, having blossomed within the confines of some 5 books, well, 6, I beg your pardon, when I came here as a teenager, there was not even one single African Caribbean writer within the community, and something had to be done. And I give thanks for the advent of the 1980s. I've mentioned Chroma, Chronicle of Minority Arts, once again. It's a school, you'd say, of gathering all of the skills. We were not quite as big and large a community in African Caribbean. So we came together as poets and, believe it or not, as authors in the making. So an anthology was the beginning. From thence, we have not looked back.
Thank you. What do you consider to be the biggest challenge your community faces at the moment? And how can this situation be improved upon?
I would like to say that unlike other countries in the diaspora, the government, local and national, need to invest more in entertainment and the arts. If the arts was worthy of its report, then why not open more opportunities for bursaries for people to study to become concert pianists, performer poets, rappers on the streets, and there are ways around this. But I'm simply saying, just as in the case of sports, the 2012 Olympics, from that debate, the government has decided to spend more on sports. Well, I wish this was a parallelism drawn here, that the government would come forward and say, yes, we're going to spend more resources on concert blossoming pianists, performer poets, artists from all walks of life.
You've got a brilliant background, Pitman, but if you had to choose one thing, what would you say was your greatest achievement that you're most proud of doing all your community work?
I am a composer. I have written works that just have not been heard in public before. Tagged to that, it's inseparable. If I went on to say also an arranger of great classical works. I have arranged many of Chopin's piano pieces.
Okay, final question is, what would you say to the younger generation in order to encourage them to be more active in their communities?
I would say to them, embrace the opportunities, grab the bull by both horns. If they look at educational leaflets, display leaflets, and find out where there are bursaries, where there are opportunities for exchange visits, like the Erasmus. This is a European thing where students can meet together on the basis of an exchange visit, not just between European countries, but between African Caribbean countries also. And let us stir up the gift within us, because African Caribbean people have got a lot to offer, and we can integrate in order to make the cosmos more multicultural and full of experience.
Thank you very much. Would you like to just see us out with that piece you were playing on me earlier? Was it?
My compose.
No, the other one. Was it Chopin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Chopin Prelude.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Because get that faded around. That's brilliant.